Dear students, today we are going to learn about very important topic that is pollution, particularly environment pollution, about its classification. So we can see around us number of pollutants which leads to pollution. So what is pollution? Any undesirable change in the physical, chemical, and biological characteristics of the environment which can be harmful to the living organisms or the non-living assets is known as environment pollution. So it means if we have any unwanted change which we don't like in the physical environment, chemical environment, and the biological environment, and it can be injurious to the living and non-living things, that means it is environment pollution. So it can affect all the living organisms including human beings, animals, plant species, etc. And it can cause harm to the non-living assets like industry, monuments, and cultural assets also. So it means pollution is basically caused by some pollutants. So what is this pollutant? So pollutants are the substances or the factors which cause the pollution. So it means the pollutant can be any solid, liquid or gaseous substance, or it can be any factor also. So it can be in the form of dust, smoke, or any gases like sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxide, etc. Or there can be certain factors like heat, etc., which can pollute the environment. It means before the understanding of the environment pollution, we have to understand the different types of pollutants. So let us see in detail classification of these pollutants which cause pollution. Pollutants can be classified into different groups on the basis of persistence, existence, and decomposition in the environment. So let us do these classifications one by one. Number one, based on the persistence of the pollutants after their release into the environment, the pollutants can be classified into two main groups, primary pollutants and secondary pollutants. So what are primary pollutants? The pollutants which persist in the same form in the environment as they are released from the source. For example, supposing we are having a pollutant sulfur dioxide which is released by some industry or it is released by some automobile, it remain in the same form in the environment as it is released. So it means it is called primary pollutant. Another example is carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide. So all the pollutants which remain in the same form in the environment as they are released from the source, they are known as primary pollutants. Then second category is secondary pollutants. From the name itself it is clear, secondary, second time formed. So two primary pollutants, they react together to form a secondary pollutant. So it means supposing we are having two pollutants, for example NO2 and hydrocarbons. These two primary pollutants, they will combine, they will react with each other in the presence of sunlight and they form the another pollutant known as secondary pollutant known as PAN, that is peroxyacetyl nitrate, along with ozone. So such pollutants which are formed by the combination of two primary pollutants, they are known as secondary pollutants. Now main point to be noted here is primary pollutants has to be formed because we have to run the industries, we have to run the automobiles. It is obvious that primary pollutant has to be formed. But we must avoid the formation of secondary pollutants which can check the environment pollution. Similarly, we are having another classification based on the existence of the pollutants in the nature. So when the pollutants exist in the nature, they can exist in two forms: qualitative and quantitative pollutants. So based on the existence, pollutants can be classified into two groups: qualitative pollutants and quantitative pollutants. Qualitative pollutants are those pollutants which degrade the quality of environment, means they directly affect the quality of the environment. For example, spray of pesticides, fungicides, when we spray in the agricultural field, they degrade the quality of the air, they degrade the quality of the water or the soil. Such pollutants are known as qualitative pollutants. Then quantitative pollutants, the pollutants which can occur naturally in the environment, but they act as quantitative pollutants only when they exceed beyond a particular quantity or a threshold value. For example, CO2 is present naturally in the air. All of you know very well CO2 is the part of the composition of the air, that is 0.03% is always present in the air because it is needed for the process of photosynthesis. But when the value of this carbon dioxide increases beyond a particular quantity, then it acts as quantitative pollutant. Supposing it has increased now from 0.03% to 300%. So it is not now normal. It is acting as a quantitative pollutant. So it causes global warming. It can act as quantitative pollutant. So it is mandatory that quality or the qualitative pollutants has to be there in the nature if we will use pesticides and fungicides. But quantitative pollutants can be checked. We can keep them beyond a, or we can keep check upon the value of the quantity of the certain pollutants. So it means quantitative pollutants can be avoided. Similarly, based on the decomposition, the pollutants can be classified into two main groups: biodegradable pollutants and non-biodegradable pollutants. Biodegradable pollutants are those pollutants which can be decomposed or degraded by the microbial action into simple substances. It means simple molecules which can be easily mixed up with the soil or others. For example, we are having plant waste, animal waste, fruit waste, paper waste, domestic sewage. They can all be degraded into simple molecules and they can be part of the soil. So such pollutants are known as biodegradable pollutants. Second group is non-biodegradable pollutants. The pollutants which cannot be decomposed or degraded by the action of microorganisms like bacteria, they are known as non-biodegradable pollutants. Supposing we are having plastic waste, tin foil, disposable glasses, plates, DDT. We cannot decompose them by the simple microorganisms or the bacteria. So such pollutants, they undergo biological magnification. They keep on concentrating in the through the food chain. So they are more harmful. So it means biodegradable pollutants can occur in the environment, but non-biodegradable pollutants should be checked. They should be stopped. So we can conclude in the end that environment pollution can be controlled by checking the pollutants because they are ultimately the ones which can cause the pollution. So it means we can check the formation of secondary pollutants. We can reduce the environment pollution. Similarly, we can keep a check upon the quantitative pollutants. We can keep a check upon the non-biodegradable pollutants by stopping the use of non-biodegradable substances. So it means to reduce the environment pollution or to control the environment pollution, ultimately we have to control the secondary pollutants, quantitative pollutants, and non-biodegradable pollutants. So I hope so you understood the concept of pollutants and its classification, which can be very useful to each of you to reduce the environment pollution. So with this we have learned the topic of pollutants and their classification. I hope so you must have liked the video. Kindly share with your friends and practically contribute to the environment by reducing the entry of such kind of pollutants. So thank you very much.